Port Charles on the precipice, a city's soul in the balance. The picturesque coastal city of Port Charles has always been a crucible of high-stakes drama where love, betrayal, and danger intermingle under the ever-watchful eyes of its most powerful families. Yet the current climate feels different, more volatile. A perfect storm of interconnected crises is brewing, threatening to unravel the very fabric of the community. From the highest echelons of political power to the most intimate corners of the family home, a series of shocking revelations and desperate actions has set the stage for an explosive new chapter in the city's history. As mob tensions escalate, a mother's psyche unravels in the most terrifying way, and fragile alliances begin to shatter. One question hangs heavy in the air. When the dust settles, who will be left standing? The Corinthos Empire under siege. At the center of this maelstrom, as always, stands Sonny Corinthos. The long-reigning kingpin of Port Charles is a man accustomed to pressure, but the forces aligning against him now are multifaceted and more insidious than ever before. His empire, and indeed his freedom, is being threatened not just by rival organizations, but by a calculated political and media assault designed to dismantle his legacy from the inside out. The most public of these threats comes from Ezra Boyle, a ruthless operator who is shamelessly weaponizing the tragic death of Natalia Ramirez. In a masterclass of media manipulation, Ezra has brought a reporter to General Hospital, forcing a confrontation with the beleaguered Marco Rios. With cameras rolling and questions flying, Ezra is attempting to publicly construct a narrative that paints Sonny and Mayor Laura Collins as villains responsible for Natalia's demise. Laura, a bastion of integrity in the city, finds herself forced to navigate a minefield, refusing to be drawn into Ezra's sordid game, but knowing the political damage is already being done. For Sonny, this is a familiar tactic, but the inclusion of the mayor elevates the stakes, transforming a mob dispute into a full-blown civic scandal. This pressure campaign is further amplified by the file Ezra has given to Drew Kane, a dossier containing what is promised to be the key to taking down both Sonny and Laura. The lines between criminal underworld and political arena have blurred, creating a battlefield where public perception is as deadly as any bullet. While fending off public attacks, Sonny faces peril on the home front. His wife, Carly Spencer, ever the pragmatist in matters of survival, has issued a stark warning. She urges Sonny to broker a ceasefire with his rival, a move she sees as essential to preventing another family tragedy. Carly's plea is born from bitter experience. She knows that in their world, escalation is a predator that always claims a loved one. The ghosts of those they've lost haunt her words, a somber reminder of the price of power. This theme of protection extends to the next generation. In a tense but controlled exchange, Sonny cautions the young Giovanni Gio Palmieri to keep his distance, a classic maneuver by a patriarch trying to shield his family from the life he chose. Sonny's world is a paradox, a place where he commands immense power yet is constantly fighting to insulate his loved ones from its consequences. This internal conflict is the core of his character, and as the threats mount, his resolve to protect his family, even from himself, will be tested as never before. The potential for a brutal confrontation, not just with his enemies, but within his own family, looms large, promising a high price for survival. A Mother's Descent, the terrifying echo of Nellie Benson. Perhaps the most chilling storyline currently gripping Port Charles is the profound and terrifying unraveling of Willow Tate. Once considered a moral compass for those around her, Willow is descending into a psychological abyss, and her actions are sending shockwaves through the Corinthos and Quartermain families. The recent reveal that Willow is the architect of the torment plaguing Sasha Gilmore is a bombshell that redefines her character and exhumes the dark legacy of her villainous twin sister, Nellie Benson. Willow's campaign against Sasha is a cruel and calculated form of psychological warfare. It is not random. It is deeply personal. Driven by a consuming grief and white-hot rage over losing custody of her children, Wiley and Amelia, Willow has embarked on a vengeful path. Now they will feel the same way she did, is the cold logic fueling her actions. She has been stalking Sasha, moving baby Daisy, changing the infant's clothes, and creating a narrative of instability designed to make Sasha question her own sanity. This is more than a simple act of revenge. It's a meticulous gaslighting scheme intended to strip Sasha of everything she holds dear, just as Willow feels she was stripped of her own children. This dark turn inevitably invites comparisons to Nellie, the sister Willow never knew but whose malevolent spirit seems to have found a new vessel. For years, viewers saw Willow as Nellie's antithesis, kind, empathetic, and selfless. This revelation forces a re-examination of that dichotomy. Is this a case of nature triumphing over nurture, with Nellie's inherent darkness finally bubbling to the surface in Willow? Or is this the tragic result of a good woman broken by unbearable loss? This ambiguity makes Willow's storyline both compelling and deeply unsettling. Speculation is rampant that Willow may be suffering from dissociative identity disorder, a condition that would provide a clinical explanation for her dramatic and uncharacteristic behavior. If this is the case, it opens up a complex path forward. When the truth is inevitably exposed, will she face a prison cell or a room at Ferncliff, the city's notorious mental institution? The fallout will be immense. Michael Corinthos, who has stood by Willow, will be forced to confront the horrifying reality of who his partner has become. Sasha, the target of this cruelty, will be left to process the betrayal of a woman she considered a friend. Regardless of the diagnosis, Willow's actions have crossed a legal and moral line. She has violated court orders and inflicted immense emotional distress. The image of Willow, the gentle soul, mirroring the manipulative tactics of her twisted sister, is one of the most potent and tragic arcs in recent memory, a stark exploration of how grief can curdle into something monstrous. The Protector's Burden, a perilous journey into the shadows. When the Corinthos family faces a threat it cannot handle through conventional means, there is one man they turn to, Jason Morgan. True to form, it is Jason who answers Michael's desperate call for help. Michael, torn between his duty as a father and the dangers of his family's world, entrusts the safety of Sasha and baby Daisy to the one man he knows can keep them safe. Jason's mission is a descent into the shadows, a return to the off-grid world of secrecy and survival that has defined so much of his life. The journey itself is a narrative of suspense, a flight from Port Charles under the cover of a storm, down rain-slicked roads to a remote safe house, so isolated it doesn't even have an address. This is Jason's domain, a place where his skills as a protector are paramount. The cabin is a Spartan fortress, wooden walls, a stone fireplace, and a hidden emergency exit, a sanctuary built for the sole purpose of disappearing. Inside this isolated haven, a new and complex bond begins to form between Jason and Sasha. It is a relationship forged not in romance, but in shared crisis and a primal need for trust. He is the stoic protector, and she is the terrified mother learning to fight back. In a pivotal scene, Jason teaches Sasha how to handle a firearm. The moment she pulls the trigger, the deafening sound in the quiet woods marks a turning point. Her hands, once trembling, are now steady. "I didn't think I could do that," she admits, her voice a near whisper. "You can do more than you think," Jason replies, his tone calm and matter-of-fact. "You're doing it already." For Jason, this is more than just another job. It is a re-immersion into a life of constant vigilance, a life that demands he sacrifice his own connections to protect others. For Sasha, it is a crash course in survival that forces her to confront her deepest fears. The quiet moments in the cabin, a shared glance, a silent understanding, are freighted with unspoken emotions. It's a dynamic built on respect and the shared trauma of their circumstances. He doesn't pity her, he empowers her. And in doing so, he may be finding a purpose that transcends his role as a mere enforcer. This mission could cost him everything, but in the isolation of the mountains, Jason Morgan is once again the silent guardian, standing between the innocent and the darkness. Fractured alliances and simmering feuds. While the central dramas involving Sunny, Willow, and Jason command the spotlight, the shockwaves are fracturing other relationships across Port Charles, revealing cracks in once solid foundations. The world of private investigation and law enforcement is reeling from its own betrayal. The confession of Kai Taylor to Curtis Ashford, that he was the one who fed information about Curtis's scheme to Drew Kane, has created an irreparable rift. Curtis, blindsided and furious, is less concerned with his own reputation than with the impact this will have on Trina Robinson. He demands that Kai explain his actions to her, forcing a confrontation that could shatter Trina's trust and end her relationship with Kai for good. This subplot is a poignant exploration of loyalty and how a single act of deceit can have devastating and far-reaching consequences. Meanwhile, a seemingly innocuous social gathering at a local art gallery serves as a microcosm of the city's simmering tensions. The flirtatious interaction between Cody Bell and Elizabeth Baldwin ignites a spark of jealousy in Rick Lansing, whose possessiveness is not lost on an increasingly annoyed Ava Jerome. Ava, far from being concerned about Rick's wandering eye, seems more irritated by his lack of focus on her, hinting at her own dissatisfaction. The scene is a carefully choreographed dance of attraction and resentment, setting the stage for potential new romantic entanglements. Could Cody's charm win over a vulnerable Elizabeth, or will his roguish nature find a more suitable match in the ever-scheming Ava? These smaller, more personal dramas are not isolated incidents. They are the tremors that precede the earthquake, signs of a citywide instability where no relationship is truly safe. Old wounds are being reopened, new rivalries are being forged, and the intricate web of alliances that has long held Port Charles together is threatening to snap. As each character navigates their own personal crisis, their choices will inevitably ripple outward, further complicating the larger conflicts at play and ensuring that no one will emerge unscathed. The unwritten future of Port Charles. As these multiple storylines converge, Port Charles finds itself at a critical juncture. The city is a powder keg, and the fuses have all been lit. The coming weeks promise a cascade of consequences that will reshape the lives of its most prominent residents. Will Sonny Corinthos, besieged from all sides, manage to outmaneuver his political and criminal rivals, or will his empire finally crumble? Can Jason Morgan succeed in his mission to protect Sasha and Daisy, and what will be the ultimate cost of his silent war? And, in the most haunting question of all, will Willow Tate be consumed by the darkness she has unleashed, or is there a path back to the light for the woman who has lost her way? The answers remain shrouded in mystery, but one thing is certain: the foundations of Port Charles are shaking. Alliances will be broken, secrets will be exposed, and the battle for power, survival, and sanity will be waged in the open. For the viewers of General Hospital, this is a promise of riveting, must-see television, a testament to the enduring power of a city where the only constant is the drama that defines it. Thanks for watching this videos. Please hit the subscribe button for more updated news.